I just want to jump on here today and have a quick chat about stress and how to manage it effectively. I think we, all go through periods of high stress levels, and I think the important thing when it comes to stress is really identifying the amount of stress that you perceive yourself to be under. There's always going to be the high achievers that look like they're under a considerable amount of stress every single day, but they manage it well. They flourish off it. They really enjoy the buzz of the continual work, and it's exhilarating and exciting for them. And then there's others where they can be in the same situation, and every day it feels very overwhelming and just a lot to get through, and the to-do list is never ending and that sort of thing. So perception of stress is actually your biggest indicator on whether or not you're managing stress well, or you should look at maybe some daily practices to implement and to ease the burden, I guess, of our busy lifestyles these days. So for me, what I do and I recommend to people is they have like a list of things that make them feel good or relaxed, and continually keep adding to that list. And what we want to do is we want to be making sure that we're ticking a few of those off each and every day. If most of us are working 40 plus hours a week, and then there's mortgage stress and relationship stress and everything else that goes with it. So in this day and age, we need to focus heavily on the yin side of our nervous system, calming ourselves down, unwinding ourselves from traffic, and every time you go to the shops, it's just an ordeal to get in and out, and these sort of things, they just all add up into the frustration and the stress bucket that we have. So the body perceives stress the same, whether it be a relationship or training or financial stress or whatever it might be. The body doesn't differentiate between the different types of stress. Stress is stress to the body, and the way I coach it is there's a stress bucket inside of us, and as the level of the stress rises in the physiology, stress becomes more and more damaging. So this is why it's very important when we're running training programs for people that they're quite specific to the person, and no one in this group has got the same training program as one another. There might be similarities, but there's a lot of differences as well. In the training volume, the frequency of the training that I've recommended, the amount of sets, all of those things really play a role in how much training volume and frequency that should be done. That comes down to your stress levels. So even exercise is considered a really good stress, but if your stress levels are really high, if you have had a pretty bad couple of nights sleep, or there's something that you're grieving, something that's important to you, you're going through a lot of emotional stuff at the moment, training can be that extra stress that takes your stress levels over that optimal level in your stress bucket, in your physiology of your stress. So we really want to manage ourselves on a daily basis, and asking ourselves, did we sleep well? Do I feel good? Is my vitality high, or am I relying on coffee and stimulants and all of these things? So it's really talking about, really assessing yourself on a daily basis. And I know we may be really motivated and want to go to the gym, we want to train, but are you actually in a position where today is a good day to train? When you go to the gym, when you walk in the door, you've got to ask yourself, do I have an excess of energy that I've built up through all of the things I'm doing outside of the gym, so that I can now go into the gym and give my energy away, right? If you feel like you're walking into the gym worn out, like you've already done your workout, I suggest doing a U-turn, going and doing some yin yoga or some relaxation or some breathing or some Wim Hof, or have an Epsom salt bath or an early night, or journal. I think journaling is massive. I think for most people, mental and emotional stress is probably the most damaging. We've all got our stuff, there's no doubt about it. And I think journaling is a very effective way, and it can be a part of your bedtime routine, to really get all of your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, your anger, your resentment, your frustration, your shit, basically, out of your head, so that when you go to bed, you can go to bed quite calm. Obviously, you do it in a way where it's therapeutic, but Yeah, like I was saying before, it's very important to have a list of things that make you feel good. And you've got to say to yourself at the start of the week, as part of this program, I'm going to tick off X number of these things this week. And what I recommend is making sure the amount of time you spend training per day or per week, you spend that same amount of time with intention for relaxation, calming down, switching off, even if it's just time out. Look, if you've got a hammock in your backyard and a good view, that's awesome. You don't have to get all hippie and do a lot of crazy breathing if you're not into it, but just taking time out with a good book, something that's not suspenseful, something that's sort of like relaxing and calming and enjoyable, blah blah blah. Just finding these things to unwind. But outside of having like a daily practice that you commit to of some sort, I think there's a lot of space in time each and every day, even if you've got a hectic day. I mean, we all go to the toilet for 5 minutes a day. We all eat 3 or 4 times a day. We all kind of walk to the car or walk to the bus stops or walk here and walk there. I mean, you guys are all on a lot of steps, and I don't want you doing those steps in a hurry. You should be really relaxed on those steps. You should be trying to stay in the now. Looking around. If you're walking around your neighborhood, my recommendation with your steps is to really focus on getting to know your neighborhood really well. Treat it as a meditation doing your steps. Look at your neighbor's tiles on their roof. Look at the shape of the chimney. Look at the different types of people's grass on their front yard. All of these things just helps you stay in the now. Anything that you concentrate on that isn't goal orientated is considered meditation because you're in the now. So, I always say to people, walk, talk, think, eat, all of these things slowly. Just slow yourself down. You'll find that you are constantly in the fast lane. Ideally, we want to live in the slow lane, in the left lane. We want people overtaking us. We want to calm ourselves down. Productivity goes up. I know it feels like we need to move faster to get stuff done, but productivity goes up. When you're calmer, you can think much more clearer. You get a lot more stuff done in a shorter amount of time. But it's really about noticing when you're busy and picking up when you're rushed and really picking up on it as early as possible. I can tell you right now, I used to be a complete hothead. And it wasn't until 10 minutes after, basically I went through whatever I went through at the time, did I realize what had just happened. And as you get a little bit older and you get more consciously in, the now, you can pick up on these subtle changes in your physiology, and you can feel like the relaxation is gone and the frustration or the rushing is starting to come on. And the earlier you can pick that up, which is a practice in mindfulness, the better off you're going to be. We want stress hormones elevated as high as possible when you're training. The rest of the time we want them as low as possible. Stress is, for me, one of the major reasons why so many people have a disease, why people have no vitality, why people have no energy, why people have bad moods, why they don't sleep, all this sort of stuff. So find something that you enjoy and that is relaxing, and make it a practice. There's 1,000,001 things that you can do, but it's really about what you enjoy and do. For me, nothing has given me more bang for buck, time for effort than Wim Hof breathing and cold showers and ice baths. I see them as just the most therapeutic thing I can do for my physiology, full stop. It's not about turning into a hippie or doing all this crazy amount of meditation. I mean, just literally lying on the floor on your back and just concentrating on your breathing with your eyes open or closed, and just allow your breath to slowly slow down. All you're trying to do is unwind yourself, and the goal really there is just to let go of having to move. When you get an itch or you get a scratch, or you find it a little bit uncomfortable to sit so still, just try and get used to being comfortable in not moving or not doing anything. I find a lot of my clients, that just keep them, they're on the go, 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 they're non-stop. So just taking some time out, and you know, like, it's really just a practice of self-love. All you're really looking to do here is to do more stuff that centers you, grounds you, and makes you feel calmer, which is going to promote better sleep. I mean, for me, the root problem when it comes to digestion is the fact that we're all too sympathetic dominant. We're all too busy, we're all too rushed, we've all got too much on. We're in that fight or flight system, and when we're in that side of the nervous system, there is no blood flow to the digestive system. You know, often people come back from holidays and they'll say, God, I digested food and my gut just felt so much better while I was away. Because we took away the to-do list, we took away all of the stuff that we have to get done, whether it be for work or whatever it might be. So, you know, ultimately we want to live our lives the way we feel when we're on holidays. And that can actually happen. It just takes a commitment to creating balance in your life. If anyone knows what the yin and yang symbol represents, you know, that's it. Just a holistic outlook on life and balancing yourself out, and noticing when you're, you know, stressed out, and really picking up on that as quick as you can, and you know, just implementing these things in continually, and you know, just walking out of a room. If you're in an environment at work that's busy and stressed and the meeting's not going well, going to the bathroom, stopping, taking, you know, a big, deep, slow inhalation in through your nose, pausing and holding that until you have to release it. And then when you release it really, really slow, and release it fully, right? And just wait until you need to breathe in again, and then repeat that 2 or 3 times. It takes 60 seconds. It's just a recentering. When you breathe out, really visualize letting the shit go, the stress out of your body on the out breath, and just you know, implementing more of this stuff. The more of this stuff that you can implement just here, there, and everywhere, and then have your daily practice to the same, you know, time volume that you're, you know, committing to your exercise. Treat your walk as a walking meditation, those steps that you're trying to you'll get up each day, and you know, eat your food nice and slowly, and you will notice over time with commitment. It's one of those things that, you know, we can't get qualified in anything overnight. You know, everything takes time. You know, it takes time to master stuff, and it takes time to, you know, to feel the fruits of, you know, implementing these things in on a daily basis to really get the change, the long-lasting change that you want. And you know, if you've got a long way to come down, it's going to take some time. But initially, you should feel a response really quickly, usually within about 14 to 21 days. So I hope this has helped. I mean, it's not like I want to give you specifics. I want you guys to really look at yourself and how you feel every day. And are you rushing? Are you busy? Are you not sleeping? Is your digestion a problem? Do you get headaches? All of this stuff, you know. Are you surfing life, or is life doing you? These are all things, the questions that I ask my clients when I work with them one-on-one, and we work through those and we implement change. And change can take time, it can be scary, but it's very rewarding on the flip side. So guys, please leave me questions if you have any. It was very unscripted, this, and quite raw, the video. So, you know, if I've missed anything, or if you're not quite sure of something that I've said, definitely leave a question for me. One other thing I'll say about stress, the single best thing that you can do at the end of your training session is lie on the floor on your back in the recovery position. Make sure your feet are above your torso and your arms are above your torso, so all the blood flow returns to the torso, so the digestive system can start digesting food again. And so it's kind of like a signal to your physiology that all the work's over. It's back to, we want to get that cortisol and those stress hormones back down as quick as possible. A lot of people tend to run out of the gym, straight to the coffee shop, and then they go on with the day, go, and you know, the reality is that those stress hormones never really come back down, right? And from a fat loss perspective, we want them down. We want them high as hell when we're training, but we want them low as possible, you know, the rest of the time. Direction of